Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Okay, so this lock right here is a safe lock. It was actually removed from a vault door, and the vault door had a accommodation for two, but we only found one in there. So this is some sort of handmade lock or safe lock. The footprint is a little bit bigger than what you normally get as far as a Ross lock. So we couldn't just bolt in a new Ross lock. So for this particular job, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the lock, I'm going to make a key, and I might even get time to do a part two and take you and show you on the vault, because looking at the vault and the relockers and the mechanisms is always quite interesting. So for this particular lock here, first thing we need to do is find a key blank, and I found this Ross 600 key blank, looks quite good. There's a little bit of play there, so it might not even be suitable, but I'll have to have a look. Okay, so now let's have a look at this particular lock and let's see what is inside. So I'm guessing this is a 6-lever lock. Judging by the case and all the rest and the way it's made, it looks either handmade or low production or quite old. What's inside? Okay, so there we go. Mild steel front. So no curtain. It's in the open position at the moment. Bolt throw is down the back, and we have levers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levers. Okay, so to check our key is going to be suitable, let's put it in that hole. It's a little bit loose, and looks like it is a little bit short. It's not going to come all the way into the case. So what we want is we want this key not to be able to have any movement here, not to have any movement here. So I'm going to have to select a different key blank there. Looking at the actual makeup of the lock, it doesn't look too bad at all. What we have is we have our curtain here, sorry, not our curtain, our post. So these levers, when the key is turned, lift up to a certain height, and this allows the bolt to slide in and out like so. I've just about made the right shape of the key to get this to move. If I push a few more, there we go. So that's the locked position, and when this is in the locked position now, the key has to manipulate these levers up to a particular height, and as you can see on the front here, it's got these little teeth here, so if you were trying to manipulate it, you're going to get stuck on those. Once all of these are at the right height, it will allow the actual bolt, which is here, to slide backwards and forwards. This is a solid brass, looks like it's casted or so, casted case, and basically everything's brass in there except for these little parts of the levers, which look to be copper, and the actual post is made of steel. So a nice old looking lock. I'm going to go through now and make a key, and then we're going to see how it goes and see how it works. Okay, so I've selected a more suitable key blank now, and I can always use my vernier calipers just to run through and see where we are on that. So the gauge I'm choosing here, these keys actually go by gauge, but I'm just going to use millimeters here. So I've got 4.8. Now when I measure the corresponding hole, well, actually I can't do it from there, I'll do it from here. When I measure the hole, I've got 5.24, so really 0.4 of a millimeter difference, which is okay. It'll give it just a little bit of room there, so it allows it to go in nicely. The next thing I'm looking at is the actual height of this key here, and you can see that this key is way too long. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting that off on the back. But the good thing about this key blank is that we've got more than enough height here, so we can definitely cut that down, and we've got enough height to go from the top to the bottom. Down the bottom is where we're going to be driving the bolt, and then we're going to be using this section here for our levers, and then we're just going to be cutting it off so that way it's a nice fit within the case. We don't want any end play where it moves this way, because that, if it had play that way, that would mean that possibly we might not be in the right spot to pick up the levers. If it's exactly right, the case and the bottom of the case will stop this key from moving anywhere, meaning that when you're turning it, you're going to be getting these levers. You really have to be on the money for these levers, because some levers are higher, some are low, and it's a bit of a castle. So if you've seen the top of a castle where it goes up, down, like that, that's exactly the way the key should be. So if it's a low point, the lever will fall right into the low point, and if it's high spot, it'll be on the high spot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dismantle it and work my way bit by bit by bit with the key. I'll do it in fast motion, so you're not getting bored, and then by the end we're going to have this key working this lock. So I'm going to lay these out in order. Okay, so this will be 1 and this will be 6. key. Yep.
Okay, flip side.
Looking for a beer to take on the water. Well, how about off-road? 0.0% alcohol. Full taste. Great Northern Zero.
Hi, it's Christian O'Connell. I was a very young lad when All Creatures Great and Small was released.
So I've just made keys to this vault lock right here. So this is a 6-lever vault lock. I don't even know who makes it. I think it could be a Chubb or something like that. It's probably going back 50 to 60 years. It's quite old. It took me 2 key blanks to do it, but I've got quite a nice key now, and when I turn it, there is no well, you're going to get some resistance from the bolt, but there's no unwanted resistance. It moves quite freely. Quite nice. And that's the key there. So it took me a couple of times, and one of the things I noticed with this type of lock is with people today, they don't understand, a lot of customers, they don't understand that this is a handmade key. And this takes a lot of time to actually sit there and file up every single groove. Not only do you have to get the heights right, you also have to get the spacing right, and then you have to get the rest of the lock working right as well. So this one here, I've just done a quick little lubricant on, so that's why it's a bit dusty. But there, you can see it there. And another problem I have with this type of lock is when you put the key in and you move it without the top of the case, the actual key itself moves quite a bit, so you can get false readings. These locks are so precise, and that's where they get a lot of their security from, that if you're gauging it up like this, it can actually, you could be cutting your key low, and if you're gauging it down like low, when the top the case on, you're going to find it's a different scenario. So to get them all lined up like so, and then that middle bolt can actually go in between the levers there, and then on the return, all the levers lift up and allows the bolt to slide out. So it's a cast lock. It's, I'd say it'd be handmade in a lot of ways, but I think the body was casted and then they did the rest of the parts by hand. It's not a bad lock. Look, it's been out there in use on a bank vault for many years. So we've just cleaned it up, and I'll take you through the key making process, because it takes a lot of time to actually make the keys. And a lot of people really don't understand. They think, oh, you just make the key, put it on a machine and then do that. But it's actually quite a lot of backwards and forwards until the key is right. So let's show you that, and leave your comments down below what you think, what brand you think it is, and anything else you'd like to say about it. Alright, thanks for watching.